Hey, Cmax here. Bought a little tool I thought I would do a little review on. Um, as some of you know, I've got the new Hornaday auto progressive press. Got it set up, got it running pretty good. Still a little bit fine tuning, I think, to dial in, but it's pretty close. But anyway, I always used a RCBS hand primer when I was doing all the single stage loading, and it's quite tedious now to load primers with the primer tube supplied with the press. And as many of you know, you take one of these, you dump your primers out, you get them turned the same way, and then you hit every one of them 100 times to get 100 primers to go in. That's what I found very tedious. I was like, my God, I can pump 100 rounds of ammo out at about the same time I can load the primers. A little bit of exaggeration, but pretty close. So I started searching for different ways to do it, and ran across Frankford Arsenal. Some reviews on it seemed to be okay. It seemed to make sense the way it worked, very simple, and I thought it would probably work real well. So far, I really like it. I've only loaded, I did a couple of test runs on it, maybe two boxes of 100. But let me give you a rundown on it. This is the handle, battery pack. I use rechargeable batteries. I hate buying batteries. Loaded up. Basically, all this does is just vibrate. It vibrates them so they all slide in the same way. Now, this is basically a primer tray that has a large and small primer end on it. The top has a block, so it blocks the one you're not using. So you have to pay a little bit of attention to which way you have the tray oriented. It fits in the VIBRA Prime. You insert this tube, loads it up. You have a small and large tube for the large and small pistol primers, and they give you two little rubber hookups. So like if you were loading the top of your thing, you just slide it on, made it up, load it. You know what's built onto the press. I am going to work on modifying some of these so I can have like 4 or 5, 100 primers ready to go. But I'm running into a couple of issues I've got to address on it, and I'll get into that later. But to make a long story short, take the primers out, and all of them are fine but one. Okay. So there's an S and an L. There's the S. I want the small primer side. Just lock it down on here. And don't force anything. Oh, got a couple turns. Okay. Now, if all the primers had not turned correctly, which is anvil side up or shiny side down, if you can see that. So what you do without the top being on, what I found is if you do kind of a circular motion like this, the ridges on the bottom will cause them all to fall to the heavy side down, is all that's happening. The flat shiny side is just heavier than the anvil side, so it just flips due to gravity. But that's about it on that. That's very easy to load. That's 100. So let's go ahead and reinstall the battery. Alright, so take the small end and you insert it in. You can see it's flat there, flat here with a rising insert. Slide it right in like that, and you take the small pistol primer tube, push it in, and then turn it. You're going to turn it towards me. So it goes in like this, and you turn it this way. or like they commonly refer to as counterclockwise. All right, and let's see, I'm gonna have to move this let's see if that'll work there. Basically it just puts them in and they all fall down in the tube. It vibrates to help move them. What I've found is a little bit, so you can do it without the battery in or anything, but with the battery in, I think it just makes it a little bit smoother. And as you can see, this is the motion. Tilt it slightly down, just shake it a little bit back and forth, and boom, that's it. 100 primers ready to load right into the press. Now, anybody who has picked primers up with this, you know that's just absolutely awesome time-wise. Now, the only issues that people really have brought up is quality. It is made in the USA, which I guess is a good thing. You wonder anymore. The handle itself it feels kind of cheesy. You know, the tray is adequate. Very similar to the tray for my RCBS universal hand primer. But, you know, in the same breath, it doesn't have to be, it's not doing anything real intensive. So with a little bit of just care, just don't break it, drop it, or anything like that. I think you can get a lot of use out of it. At least that's what I'm thinking and what I expect. Also put extra set of glasses out here. Help remind you, anytime you're dealing with primers, this is the bad boy. This is the danger. And not CCI, just primers in period. You know, that's the dangerous component. The powder, yeah, it's not going to explode, but it'll burn real quick. But the primers are what really give you the problem. So whenever you're doing any reloading with primers, always wear your eyeballs. Well, you know what we call it, the range. You got your eyes and ears on, but always wear the safety glasses when you're dealing with primers. Now, you really should wear your safety glasses when you're doing any of this kind of work, because there's chemicals and bits and pieces can fly up, and you know, whenever, it's just a good idea. But especially when you're using primers. The press, you know, it's got its primer fill tube built in, but it's also got an explosion shield that goes all the way up over it. Now, why is that? That could happen. So, you know, that's the real thing that you need to be real careful with. Just treat them with respect. It'll be fine. I mean, you don't touch them and they explode or anything, but, you know, treat them with respect, just like all the other things. Don't force anything. If it's not fitting together right, stop, look at it, try it again, read the directions maybe. You know, gun repair, reloading, things of this nature, gun function. If it's not working right, it ain't right, don't force it. So, anyhow, that's it for this one. Probably have a couple of more out real soon. Got some free time on my hands all of a sudden. So, please like and subscribe. Please don't forget to be really extremely safe. Follow your guidelines. Finger off the trigger. Always know where it's pointed, and it's always loaded. Several other good ones, but those are the basics. Anyway, thanks a lot and have a great day.